Once upon a time, in the glitzy kingdom of Hollywood, a fairy tale was rewritten. But this time, instead of applause, there was backlash. Instead of magic, there was mockery. And leading the charge, none other than the former President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. In a recent press conference, which felt more like a stand-up special than a political speech, one moment captured the internet's attention and quickly became fuel for an ongoing outrage.
US President Donald Trump has dismissed concerns around China's call to ban Hollywood movies.
Mr. President, China retaliated today by reducing the number of American films that can be shown there. What's your reaction to them now targeting cultural exports from the United States?
I think I've heard of worse things. Yes, please.
Social media users have been quick to react to the president's response, but many are using it as a chance to savagely slam Hollywood for the woke films it produces. One user wrote, "This trade war is more entertaining than Hollywood has been for the last 10 years anyway." Another wrote, "What do we have to do to get our theatres to show less US films? They suck and are just agenda pushers with horrible acting." And another wrote, "Less money for toxic Hollywood trash? Thanks, China." This all comes as Disney's remake of Snow White flops at the box office. Brianna Lyman joined Power Hour for her take on how Hollywood ruined a fairy tale. Snow White, Disney's Snow White, is getting slammed not just for being woke and ruining a beautiful fairy tale, but the left are now upset because Disney's remake of Snow White produced more carbon emissions than the most recent Fast and Furious film, according to a report by The Guardian. According to an analysis of the Disney sets, Snow White and The Little Mermaid, that produced more pollution than any other Disney film made in the UK since 2019. Brianna, I just have to laugh reading this. It's agreed, certainly now on all sides, that Snow White has been a complete disaster.
It is, and I'm kind of happy to see it because the lead actress has been really insufferable for quite a while. And I think this is also the hypocrisy of Hollywood. They preach down to the average middle American, how dare you drive your truck around when we're trying to save the climate, and you have Snow White with all this emission, you have Taylor Swift flying her private jet around. All of these people, it is rules for thee, but not for me.
Shortly after, fans across the globe began trolling Hollywood, mocking yet another failed attempt at reviving a classic, Snow White, the live-action remake starring Rachel Zegler.
Oh my gosh, I saw we didn't even see, but I saw the logo and I went, that's my name, Snow White's up there, and I cried my eyes out.
Like seeing yourself for the first time in full Snow White drag.
I love that description. It's perfect. Oh my God. Well, when you get to wear Sandy Powell, first of all, insane. And then you get to be lit by Mandy Walker and Nadia Stacey designed your hair and makeup. It's like the most incredible thing in the world. And then all of a sudden you open your eyes and you watch the playback, which I never do. And I saw myself on screen and I just wanted to throw up. I was so happy about it. And it was the most incredible experience. And the fan reaction was insane. We didn't even see what they were clapping for. I think it was good. I don't know.
Sizzle. We didn't see anything. Yeah. We're still waiting.
You see yourself as the evil queen. You are not evil. You are not evil. You're a queen, but you're not evil. What was it like seeing yourself as the evil queen for the first time?
We did not see the clip, so I still haven't seen anything. But when I was in Mega, just like she said, we got to work with such an amazing crew, and it was just like the best it could ever be. I must say that for me, also the transition for the old hag was incredible because it was all real prosthetics and all of that.
You were in the chair for like 4 hours.
4 hours and changing the voice and everything. I feel so lucky that I got to play something that is so far from what I know and what I'm used to, and I super enjoyed every second of it.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign. I am.
Rachel Zegler, once hailed as the rising star from West Side Story, found herself in the middle of a cultural war, not because she acted poorly, but because she spoke very loudly. And in doing so, she took a beloved childhood icon and turned her into a lightning rod for controversy. Zegler's Snow White wasn't dreaming about love or singing to bluebirds anymore. She was a warrior, a leader, and according to Rachel herself, a princess who didn't need saving, especially not from a prince. Fans around the world were stunned, not just by the remake, but by the way Zegler dismissed the original 1937 film. In interviews, she called it outdated, sexist, even creepy. To some, she was speaking truth to power. To others, she was trashing a classic. The backlash was swift. Online hate, angry tweets, hashtags like #NotMySnowWhite.
You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that fucking backward story of 7 dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing, man?
Suddenly, the remake wasn't just a film, it was a meme. A symbol of everything many believed had gone wrong with modern Hollywood. At a campaign rally, what was supposed to be a political moment took an unexpected pop culture twist. A quick comment, interpreted by many as a jab, only added fuel to the fire. And the crowd? They ate it up. But Trump wasn't the only critic. Peter Dinklage, too, called out Disney's so-called progressive remake, blasting their portrayal of dwarfs as tone-deaf. Disney tried to fix it. They reworked the characters, delayed the film, shot new scenes, but the damage was already done. When Snow White finally hit theaters, it flopped hard. Critics panned it, audiences skipped it. The magic was gone. What was meant to be a modern fairy tale turned into a cautionary tale about overcorrecting, over-preaching, and overlooking what made the original special. In trying to be bold, they forgot to be timeless. What was once seen as a bold reimagining now looked like a lesson in what not to do. To audiences, the Snow White fiasco wasn't just a bad movie. It was a symbol, a warning, a punchline. Because once upon a time, Hollywood made magic. Now, it makes headlines.